Out for a run. Gonna do the 200 steps twice. I think you've only got 2 in you. It'll be about a minute for me. No, that's about 50 seconds. But they're hard. I've done for about 2 weeks. Doing some more red zones, more sprints, more power. Getting comfortable in the green zone, so get uncomfortable again. Great day. Great day. I'm gonna get for swimming as well. You probably have this barrier off again. All the beaches are closed here, so, and they've been clamping down. I got pulled by about 30 cops the other day going down the Avenida, both sides, like the heavy boys that they bring down from Lisbon for the weekend. Andy Riot Squad pulled me in for what, I don't know, a minute. 500 kids, 500 families can't feed their kids. There's a bunch of junkies in town can't buy their heroin, you know. I saw a lad there the other day and he had his legs were bleeding from scratching his legs. So how much does it cost to have 30 grown ass men pulling people over for nothing really? Like, where are you going? Supermarket. Do you know what I mean? So spend the money more on, give those lads some methadone, take a little bit of misery out of their lives. Shouldn't judge them, just help them. And that's it. Actually, do you know what? I might do something to help the heroin guys. Oh, the cops are here as well. Fucking cops. So you've got this maritime police shitheads here. So they're already up at my gym. So I'm gonna go up to the other steps. There they are there. That's the van. So I'm gonna jog up the other way. Hopefully they're gone by then. But like I said, they're clamping down hard here for some reason. I don't know, it's not going to affect me, but I'll just find somewhere else to go. And then if I can't go on the beaches, I'll just go for a bike ride. Always a solution. Anyway, I'm going to run the fucking steps, so I'll jog up here. By then they'll be finished having their cigarette break or whatever the fuck they're doing. Right. There they are, they're leaving now. I'm going to bounce up this way till they go. They're gonna go up the other, they're gonna go up the Point of Piedad, so as soon as they bounce, I'm just gonna bounce back down, run over this for a couple of minutes, hide in the trees. That's what you're dealing with. I mean, what's the harm going on the beach on your own, going for a swim? Where's the harm in that? It's the supermarkets you gotta be worried about. Touching and feeling stuff and putting it back. Not running down to a beach. I'm gonna hang here for a minute, see what they're doing. So a little hydration tip for you. It's about 23 in the sun here, about 19 in the shade. You can see I don't have a bottle of water with me. Fuck all with me really. And I'm probably going to be out for about 45 minutes. I don't need to drink. So, be a bit of a camel. So I drank last night before I went to bed. The water was sore in the muscles. And then I had a litre of water first thing when I woke up with Tristan Kennedy's formula. If you want to know what that is, get in touch with Tristan, but it's really good. First thing I do now is have a litre of his concoction to rehydrate, especially after being asleep. Weigh yourself before you go to bed, weigh yourself when you get up. You'll see how much you actually lose from breathing, from sweating. Even though you're not sweating, it still comes out of you. So that'll keep me hydrated till I get back. I don't need to have a bottle of fucking water in my hand, pulling on one side I know I've got a camera, but it's kind of light. It's a little Osmo action, so cops aren't down at the point of piedad. They must have gone right. So we're going to jump the fence, 2 sprints up, then I'm going to go for a swim, and then I'm going to run back barefoot. Look how clean that water is. That's because there's no boats. Looks like the Caribbean. And yeah, we still have this bullshit. Anyway, I'm getting down. Going around. Oh. And we're down. Generally this time of the year, there's going to be people on this and they're going to have to run it really early now or run it really late. So I think they're done with their patrol. The only other thing is there's a boat patrol. But sure, what's he going to do? Come in after me? I don't think so. I'll get 2 in at least and a swim. It's fucking beautiful. Mario, you should be here right now. Mario fucking Silverback. Good man. Comes every year in April. I'm getting a lot of messages from the guys to say, oh, we should be here right now. Well, I'm living it for you, lads. I am living it for you. So I hope you're watching the videos. I hope you're enjoying the virtual tour. But it's just, I never get tired of this place. When you see it now. Here's a good view for you, lads. Look at that. Do you hear that? Quiet. Look at beautiful. Look at it. Magic. Look how clear it is. Look. No boats. All the blokes throwing it up and the diesel coming out the back of them. And you're just left with this fucking, what nature intended. It's fucking beautiful. All to myself, huh? Shipwrecked. Love it. Alright, running back barefoot. See how this goes. Bit of nasal breathing. And if I see a tree, I might just hug it. We are all one. Free hugs. Free hugs. Free hugs. Hang on. It's not a tree. It's a pole. Get away from me. Fucking pole's trying to hug me. Where's there a good tree around here? When you need one. I'm actually going to go into town probably tomorrow with a free hug sign. Put the camera down, see who hugs me. See if I'll hug them. Free hugs. Where's there a tree? Anybody? Fuck all trees around here. Just noticed that now. Right, today's ensemble is starting from the feet down. Free box, yellow socks. The trousers are by Preview. Primark white t-shirt, Levi's denim shirt, and this is a Alpha Industries coach jacket. Hats by Kangol and the Rabbit in the hat shop. Glasses by Oakley's. It's hard to beat the Oakley's. If you want to be able to see through lenses good, get Oakley's. Right, gonna get some supplies. There seems to be a bit more movement around the town today. There's definitely people arriving. But I don't know where the fuck they're arriving from. Like there's a lad over there, this gaff over here. He arrived in with a couple of babies and shit like that yesterday. And then I saw a few people down by the pool. There's a lot of people down at the bar. No one in the supermarkets. Supermarkets are empty. Anyway, we'll do a little, we'll walk around and see what's going on in the supermarket. See if anyone's wearing a Batman mask. Not me. Never me. Actually, from the 1st of May, they're doing a thing here where you gotta wear a mask outside. Fuck that. Tricky little task. I'm gonna try and put the candle out with the katana. So what I'm gonna do is go past the top of the flame with the blade without hitting the candle, and with the speed of the blade it'll create a vacuum behind it and put it out. It's a very hard thing to do. First time. Don't go out on me. That's difficult. Very difficult. Happy with that. I wanted to do the story about how I ended up here. Shinobi Academy. Wearing a wire. I've got a mic on. Cleaner audio. Look, if you're going to tell a story, you need clean audio. You can have all the fancy cameras, all the fancy lighting, but if I can't hear what you're saying, it's going to be worth shit. So get clean audio. So that's why I'm wearing a wire. 10 years ago, I put on my first MMA camp and 24 people showed up. Super proud day for me. But before that, I had been here on holidays a couple of times, ended up getting a place here. That's another story in itself. The holiday home detectives. But I ended up getting a spot here. And I used to come down and stay. And the thing about Portugal is I'd never been, I never wanted to go, it was never on my radar of places to go. I just ended up being here. I always thought it was sold as like a golf place, a golf resort, a place where people went to play golf, and I was far removed from playing golf. So I'd come down a few times and I was looking at the spot thinking like, what could I do to stay here? And I have a lot of different skills, I've done a lot of different things, and I felt I had enough skills that I could throw my hand at something and I could make it work here. Never thought of doing martial arts. And then the idea of opening an MMA academy kind of got into my head. Because I was looking around, I was like, I don't see any MMA. There was Krav Maga, there was kickboxing, judo, karate, you know, the usual stuff. But it was like Ireland 20 years ago, before the MMA scene happened, it was that kind of like traditional martial arts. So I just thought, you know what? Isn't it always best to be first? You can't be being first. You might be better, but you weren't first. So I thought, I'll open up a martial art academy. And at the time, I'd been training in John's about 8 or 9 years in John Kavanagh's gym. Throughout all the different gym changes, from the place in Phibsborough in the Laneway, to Harold's Cross, to Rathmines in the school, to Crumlin in the school, to Rathcoole, to Long Mile Road, to the Concord, and then obviously now the Monster. So I'd followed them the whole way around. So I thought I had enough experience, and plus I was already a third dan black belt in ninjutsu, so I was already a black belt. And I had that. Being a black belt's not just about being able to do technique. You gotta be here a black belt. It's not just enough to be able to do spinning back kicks or be the best guy in the gym or tap everybody out. It's not about that. It's a lot more to it than that. So I was down here and I was looking around warehouses. I just thought, I'll get a warehouse because everyone has a warehouse. And in my apartment, there's a little small gym, and there was a guy who used to work there. And he said to me, there's a place in Irpalagosh. It was an old gym. I used to go there many years ago. It's been closed for like 8 years. That's just sitting there. So I said, where is it? So he told me where it was, went down by the fire station, went in, had a look around, found where the kind of reception was. It was a condominium, small, like an office that was embedded in one of the apartment blocks. Knocked on the door, said, listen, I want to have a look at the gym. And they said, okay. They got a key, came in, looked around, and I said, all right, I'll have it. What do you want? Now, it hadn't been anyone in it for 8 years, so there was debris everywhere. It was like shit everywhere. And they didn't know who owned it, because this complex was started building in the time they had a dictator, which is Salazar he fell in 71. So before that, I think it was 1970, they started building this, and he fell. Then it just lay dormant. Then somebody else took it up, started building it, they went bankrupt. Somebody else started building it, they went bankrupt, and then somebody finally finished it off. And they didn't know who owned this place, because it'd gone through so many owners and builders and the red tape and blah, blah, blah. So it took 2 years. I had Roberto, the lawyer, working on it. It took 2 years to get it. We finally got it. And he said, right, it's yours. You can have it. And I was kind of super excited. So one January, I decided to pack up and leave Dublin. And at the time, the kind of slump had happened on the sites. The sites were all closed now, so there was fuck all work, and I just thought, like, time to bounce. And I had an MR2, and I packed it, so it's only got like 2 seats, no boot. I've just jammed the suitcase in the front, 2 sat-navs, got the ferry across to Wales, to Rosslare. Not Rosslare, Holyhead. I'd never been on the ferry before with a car. Drove on, parked the car, got to Holyhead, drive through England and chase down to get to the Channel Tunnel. And at the time, there was a big snow, and I didn't even know Wales was hilly, and was just driving up over Wales, all the mountain passes, little narrow roads, snow everywhere. I did it like an emergency kit in the back in case it broke down, like a flask and one of those emergency blankets and boots and coats and all that shit, sleeping bag, just in case it got stuck in the car. And then I made it down to the Channel Tunnel for the last train through the tunnel that evening. And I'd never been on the Channel Tunnel before, and it broke down 3 times that week. Got locked in because of the cold and the hot air or whatever the fuck it was. But it was the most bizarre thing I'd ever been on, because usually you're in an airport and or any port, and there's kind of interaction between you and people. But when you pull up to the Channel Tunnel, you're just in your car. And I had this illusion of that you drive in, then you get out and you go upstairs to maybe the bar or the cafe and have a coffee and relax, and you're out the other side in a half an hour, right? 40 minutes. It wasn't like that at all. So they direct you to drive down towards the train, and there's a door into the train, and it's just basically a long tunnel, maybe that much wider than either side of your car, and you just drive. You think, where the fuck is the end of this? And then at the very end, there's one dude, and you're parked up the back of somebody else's car, and he keeps more, you know, like how fuck, like that close, you know, that close to the next car. Then the next car comes in, and all of a sudden you're just stuck in this confined space. And then this door shuts down in front of the car in front of me and 2 cars back. So 4 cars are contained in this little box, and there was a window about that size. That was it. So all of a sudden, like, voomp, nobody. And then they started kind of, the tannoy was going off saying, you know, if you hear this siren, woo, woo, woo. You know, and I started getting a little bit, fuck this, I need to get off. Kind of a vibe, you know. And, it took off, and it took 40 minutes, but it took 20 minutes to get on, 20 minutes to get off the fucking thing. But I was so happy to get off that. It was not what it was fucking billed as anyway, that was for sure. And it bounced off into France, and I thought I'd stay the night in France. Drove out, put on the sat-nav, straight into pea thick fog, like pea soup fog. I couldn't see anything. Sat-nav wasn't working. I was just driving along straight onto the motorway, and they just drive a different sort of pace in France. Very unforgiving with how they are. But I finally got somewhere to stay there the night. Then the next day, I drove. Sat-nav brought me through Paris at rush hour on a Friday. Ended up in Bordeaux, stayed there the night, then drove down, stayed the night in Spain, and then got here. I remember coming in, getting the key for the place, being super excited. And then I opened the door, and I realised I'd kind of might have bitten off more than I could chew. Because at the time when I'd been down here, I was on holiday, so I was in holiday mode, so I didn't really look around to see what was the state of the building, you know. And when I got here, all the wires were gone between the switches and the lights. All the pipes were gone between the sink and the the water. When the water comes through the sink and back out, all those little pipes were gone. Between the cistern and the toilets, everything was just pulled out. There was no hot water tank, and it was just overwhelming. And I just thought, fuck, man, this is a lot. So I just came down here every day, and I did like 10 hours a day. And I got this guy in. I went down to the electricity board, said to turn on the electricity, but they wouldn't because it needed like an electrician in. And so I got this lad in, and he wired up the electricity for me. I mean, free electricity for a couple of months while he was doing all the light switches and hanging up. There was fans, and they were on the floor, so he put them back up in, did all the switches, did all the sockets, did all the lights for me. And finally, I remember opening my first day, and Tony showed up, Rob showed up, Matt showed up, and there was a lad came out from Dublin, the Green Hornet, and he showed up. And I had a tantrum the day before because I'd put down the white mat, and it rained, and I had to move it into the other room. And all I had was a white mat. That was all I had. I had 3 rooms. One was a squash court, which is the champ room, which we're in now. The other one was a room where the weights used to be, and then the other green room. And all I had was some foam and a cover, and that was it. That's how I started. And I didn't realise that at 8 o'clock of an evening, people here want to go for dinner with their grandmother instead of training. There's not a culture of training here, especially here. There's a culture of having dinner with your grandma or going for a surf or being bombed out of your twist, you know. And it's kind of like the last town before the wilderness, before the off-the-gridders. Because a lot of people here live in vans or wigwams or off the grid or huts, prefabs, hippie type, which is great. But it's not great if you want a bunch of people to come and start an academy. So I found myself doing other things to keep the place open. And it never made the rent. I always paid the rent. it just never got the numbers, just never got people interested in it. And then, like I say, 10 years ago, came in January, by April, I had my first camp, and 24 people showed up. And I always had that, like, build it will come, or build it they will come. I always had that. Feel the dreams, isn't it? And I found, like, 10 years on, it's probably one of the best things I ever did in life. You know, at the time I doubted. I remember walking up and down the beach one day going, I am staying here, I am staying here, I am staying here. Because I wasn't committed, I was kind of here. I got rid of my bank account, got rid of my flat, got rid of my car, you know, and I didn't have a job. So when it came down, it was just like, all right, this is it. Cut all ties, fucking burn all bridges. Don't give yourself an easy exit out of here. Just deal with it, you know. But it, like, some of the times here were rough. But for what I have, and especially now with people being restricted to moving, I still have this. And I'm still able to train and do my thing and float around and chop fucking pineapples and melons and put candles out. Talking about candles, that's a very difficult thing to do with the katana. Very difficult. Harder than it looks. And it took me a few goes. But it's the speed of the blade and it's the proximity of the blade. You can't get too close to the flame. And you obviously can't get too far away from it either. And you can't hit the flame or hit the candle. It's the speed of the blade puts out the candle. It's a psychological thing because you're trying to hit something that's there but that's not there. It's a head game. But I'm really enjoying the katana. I have a few more stories. I have another one. I want to do one about the training camp and who was here and what was that, because that was one of those ones where I'd been to Thailand a couple of times and I realised most people can't say to their wife or partner or whoever, I'm going to Thailand for a month or two. No, you're not. You know what I mean? Whereas I figured, where else could you go in Europe and train and your significant other could go to the beach and you could train twice a day, stay on site and have this place, you know. And now it's developed into something else where teams come now and Connor comes here, and then, you know, the local have a small little tight crew that we just keep it tight. It's not an open to the general public type of a premises. It's too good for the general public. Too much effort has gone into it. Too much intention's gone into it. It's for me and people who are serious about training. And if you're serious about training, you're welcome. If you're not, you're not. Mario should have been here now. Been here for the last, don't know how many years. He'd probably end up here. You know what I mean? But it's like open source. It's an open source academy. It's not affiliated to anybody. It's affiliated to everybody. And if you come with an open hand and a good attitude, we'll get along. And I've had people most people have been like that have come. I've had a few that haven't been like that and they've gone. I've only thrown out a couple of people. But you generally give people a few obstacles before they can get in, and then you'll know whether they're serious or not. It's like when I used to work on a door. It's better to fight the guy at the door than it is inside. If you know what that means. So if you're working on a door and you meet a guy at a door and he's just going to be aggro, fight him there and then, instead of having to drag him out through a fucking crowd where it gets sloppy and awkward and all sorts of chaos happens. So, same with the gym. Same policy. I'll stop you at the door before you come in and we'll end it there, instead of you're in 6 months, a year, and we become friends and then we fall out. It's recognising who wants, because everyone wants something, right? So what do you want? So when people come in to me, I always say to them, like, what do you want? Because you want something. Do you want to learn how to train? Or do you want to learn how to do martial arts? Or do you want to learn how to kickbox? Or do you want to learn how to do whatever? Depends what you want. But it's always, what you put in is what you get back. And that's another Brian McCarthy's one. And that's it. So if you come to me with a good attitude and you want to
just give and take. Because that's the thing about being a martial artist. You got to give it back to you. You can't just learn all this stuff and then just fucking hang on to it and just not give it to other people. That's your obligation. You have to pass it on. And also you have to make the students better. That's my philosophy anyway. My students will be better than me. If they're not, I'm not doing a good job. And if they're not tapping me, or if they're not getting close to tapping me, then I'm just not showing them everything, or not. My ego is getting in the way because I don't want to get beaten by them. Yeah, I'm competitive. Of course I'm competitive. I'm a competitive by nature person. And that's what makes me do things and take chances and try and be better than other people, because I'm competitive. And being competitive is a good thing. I don't know if I ever told you the story about... I had competitive friends and non-competitive friends. Like, I had friends that were drinking buddies and partying buddies, and then I had other friends that were training buddies. You know, and they were always like different faces for each one of them. You have a different outfit for each one of them, if you know what I mean. So I had my flashy outfit for the going out lads, me gi for the other lads, or me valet tudo stuff, whatever. But the guys who I would go out with would always say I was super competitive. But then compared to the guys who were like super competitive friends, I wasn't as competitive as them. I was somewhere in the middle. Do you know that kind of way? But I remember how I realised how being competitive is very good for you. And that doesn't mean you compete all the time in a competition that's on a Sunday every month or every 2 months. No, you compete all the fucking... From the time you wake up in the morning, you're competing. Competing with yourself or competing with other people to push yourself. Like winning the first battle of the day. Get out of bed. First battle of the day. Or do I lie back down and have a little snooze? Lost. I've lost. Lost the first battle. Non-competitive. You've just lost 2 hours there. Then you wake up a little bit dozy and just relax a bit more. Where if you'd got up early, you would have had shit done. And then that would have led on to other stuff. I was working for this guy called Alex, a New Zealand guy, painter. Good lad. Shout out to Alex. Always looked after me. You're a good man, Alex. And he had this lad working for him, Eastern European guy. His name was Yuri. And Yuri was kind of like the dog's body. You know, he got all the shit jobs, like sanding down shit, then he'd clean and shit, and just dirt, you know what I mean? He had a board and a kid and all that, you know? And he was a nice guy, innocent guy. And I felt like he wasn't going to go anywhere because he wasn't getting a chance to kind of learn the craft or learn the trade or whatever. So I'd finished up with Alex, because I used to just do little small little amounts of work with him, say come in and do a few houses or do a job and then move on. And then at the time I was still working with Roy Decor, and we were still doing houses backwards and forwards. So if they were kind of slack, I'd jump over with Alex, and then when Alex was slack, I'd go back, give Ray a call. All right, Ray. And then say, listen, do you want me back? Because they were always getting rid of me. I was just late all the time. I'm not sorry, I'm just late. So if you're looking for an apology, it's not going to happen. That's what it is. So one time, I'd finished up with Alex, and then I said to Yuri, I said, listen, why don't you come with me on the site? You got a house to paint. Say you got 1,500 for a house, or 1,200 or $1,000 for a house. So you got paid per house, not per hour or per day. So you went in, 3-bedroom, semi-detached, 2 coats on the... So the first day was, all it was ceilings and woodwork. You didn't have... Oh, it was walls as well in these ones, yeah. So the first day was 3-bedroom, semi-detached, first coat on the walls, first coat on the ceilings, and then prime all the woodwork. That was your day one, and that's the pace you're going at. So it was a flat-out pace to do them in 5 days. So you really had to have your wits about you. When I did skirtings, I did a box split. I didn't even put my knee on the ground. Run, boom, run, boom, run, boom. So I said to Yuri, look, why don't you come with me? You learn a little bit. I'll give you a price. I'll give you a cut off the job, and you'll see how it goes. And great. So first day one, I'm super stoked. I used to be super stoked for about 3 weeks, and then I just get paid me bollocks for them. not start coming in no more. Not right. So day one, super happy. Let's do this, right? So we start off, and I have to prime the woodwork first, right, for whatever reason. So we're doing the frames and stuff like that. And then I said to Yuri, look, let's do the skirtings. I'll start upstairs, you start downstairs, I'll meet you in the middle. Great. So, I don't know if you can see me here. So, I go upstairs, I start painting the skirting. And Yuri is downstairs doing his skirting. So I do 3 bedrooms, ensuite bathroom, hall, stairs and landing, and I get down into the hall and I go in looking for her. Yuri, where's Yuri? Yuri's still in the same room that I left him in. And he's done about 3 meters of skirtings. And he's kneeling down, sitting on his heels. Like this. And then I realised like how it's good to be competitive. Because if I was painting with somebody else in the gaff and he had done 3 doors and I'd only done 2, I wouldn't be happy with that. It's not about getting paid by the other guy or getting paid by anybody. It's the fact that he's doing more doors than me, and how come I can't do as many as him? So I'll be picking up the pace trying to catch up with him. Do you know what I mean? Whereas he just didn't give a bollocks. He was just like, la da da da, painting the skirting. That was it. One day, it's gone. It's not for you. It's not for you. So it's good to be competitive. And if people say you're too competitive, take that as a compliment. Because you'll get ahead. You will get ahead. That's it for today. Got me running, got me swimming. Katana. Made a bit of a ceremony out of it. But I'm going to practice that again. Because there's a lot to it. There's a lot to it. It really is like hitting empty space. It's a very weird feeling when you're trying to hit something that's not there that is there. Like fire it's not a physical thing, but yet it looks physical, you know? So it messes with your head. And then also, like, you have to be super accurate, super fast. That's the other thing. I'm going to be working on my fast game now. Not my regular fast game, that too, but my speed work. So sprints today, sprints yesterday. I'm going to start working on adding more sprints in. If in a 3-day cycle, 2 of them are going to be fast. And then tomorrow, I'm going to do a bike ride tomorrow. And that's it. So I hope you're doing well. I hope you're staying safe. Don't be sending me messages anymore about doing fucking whatever. Hashtagging people and fucking this charity and that charity and all the stuff you guys are sending me about challenges and stuff. I have enough challenges. I'm doing alright. I don't need any more. So that's it. We are all one. Do what's good for you. Hare Krishna. Namaste. #Rafter.